Sponsored by Battle Tribe. For awesome stickers, patches, t-shirts, art, and more, check out our Etsy store, Battle Tribe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to make a new 2x2 piece for my Mordheim table, so I wanted to make like a gate entry. So I started out with sketching some ideas on my iPad, kind of the idea, plans, real rough. Everything in this whole build is really rough and kind of enjoyable and thrown together. But so I did like a kind of an idea of what I want it to look like, and then a top view. So this piece would, pop into my already existing 4x4 terrain. So I glued down a piece of 2x2 wood with a foam, and then I started cutting out pieces for the wall. Originally, I started thinking about having like a plastic skull, like a castle gray skull entrance, and you'll see that later. So there's some pillars. I was gonna build it out, but yeah, I was gonna do like a skull entrance, but I kind of wanted it to match not just Mordheim but like other games and stuff. So I ended up not sawing that skull in half and using it for the gate. But anyway, so slowly started going out. Everything was pretty rough. I was going for that grim dark look, so it wasn't going to have to be exact in every way. So I drew out some lines, used some pens and markers to trace out, did some battle damage and stuff, and slowly started building. I used little skewers to hold it in place and glued it. I was coming up with ideas. So I didn't really want to make it a complete fortified wall, because it might be just a split wall that divides things inside the city. So it's kind of just coming up with ideas. And put a guy in there for scale for the gate. Originally I was gonna make like a moat. That kind of idea fell by the wayside as well. So I started adding some wood putty, kind of smoothing it in and help sealing it and everything. I did cut a little canal, so I can have a little drainage ditch with I was gonna put some broken bars in there, so another way to sneak through the front gate of this town or whatever. So built the sides up so they were all blocked. So it could be like an entry into a city, or it can be from that angle or this angle. Put a little hill in there, so it could be like a courtyard, if you will, inside the city terrain when linked up with the other pieces that I built. Just I waited for it to dry. I used a roller to give it like some texture, like patterns. So then I started getting cork, because I was going to do one side. I was going to do all cobblestones. So I've seen a couple people on YouTube do this already, and I've done it before. I like it. It's a bit of work, but it's cool. Gives a little irregulatory. I can't pronounce words. So, but makes it very irregular. So now I start laying down wood glue, and just the arduous task of just slowly putting all the little bricks in. So pretty cool. It's one by ones, and put them in there, letting it dry. Now this is all going to be sealed with black house paint, and then painted and weathered and so forth. So I faded in the cork into the entranceway, and then I actually got more wood putty and brushed it up so like the dirt, sand looked like it was coming in. Nice slow process, but it gives it a really cool look, as you will see later. Now you can see it coming along. So long process, still gotta do the whole backside. So now finished, and like you can see I brought the wood putty up and smoothed it out to like give it a level, so it looks like it came in. Also too, I put some wood putty in certain areas to give it some texture and seal it up a little bit. It's looking good. You got a little guy there for scale. Now going in there with black house paint, flat house paint from Home Depot, and just painting it and sealing it and getting all the cracks. Don't want to see any pink foam. So did a couple coats and like really made sure to get in there and turned it the whole table upside down, looked in there and everything. And then at the very end I actually took some spray paint and went in there, give it another coat. So the thing that stinks about foam terrain is, like, you know, wear and tear, you start to see the pink. So if you give it a nice thick coat of house paint, it helps lessen that problem. Important getting all that black paint in there and wedging it between the cracks of the corks. It takes a while for it to. So then I take it outside after it dried and gave a nice brown spray to the ground outside, give a nice base coat. I gave a gray, a dark gray spray to the wall itself and to the cobblestone street outside, you can see. Now you can, so this is the base coat for it. So I'm gonna go back in there with craft paints and weather it up and add to it and so forth. But you can see the skewers of that. I'm gonna fill that with resin, that little ditch. So I go in there, start using some dark brown craft paint and just start dry brushing it in. So it blends with my other board pieces that I've made. Just getting in there and doing it. Really laying it on thick. I want this color blend. Bringing the dirt and the gate into the street. Tapping it in there around the debris and the rubble. Now I go in with different grays, different colors. I even use like a bone color, just give it some weather. Just going in there and just dabbing in all the weather. This is like the funnest part of making this stuff to me, is painting it. Got some of that brown, bringing it in. Just adding all that texture and different highlights and colors. So then I went in there with Vallejo Street Grimes and just went in there and started giving all this grimy, grim, dark look weather. Dirty water raining down on this craggy city wall. So I just wanted it to be like an internal city wall or an outer, but I didn't really want to add all that defenses. It wasn't supposed to be like a really heavily fortified wall. I go in there. So I added pigment powders and sanded it up, and then I went in there and added some bits of flock, little bushes and stuff, little tufts. I think I used Army Painter dead grass tufts. I was going to add some skulls. Eventually I'll do that, some resin skulls. I went in there with some Athrax Earthshade. I just went in there and went into almost every crack just to pronounce all the different bricks, make them pop, add to the weathering and stuff, you could see. So coming out really cool. Really happy with it. I did this build over a week. So some damage from a catapult. Just accentuating. If I would have went back, I would actually cut each one of these things out individually and just stack them, but you know, you live, you learn. The one thing that's cool is like the top of the wall is very narrow, so if guys go up there if they want to, there's a real big chance of them getting hit and falling off and really getting killed or taking damage. And there's the entrance to the little swamp. More tufts. Make sure they're nicely secure. Use a little Zap-A-Gap, put them in place. So I didn't get a chance to fill that yet with resin, but when I do a resin project, I'm going to just add some in there. So here it is finished. You know, weathered, pigment powders, grass tufts. So got one of my Lazy Susans so you could see it. You can give it a nice little spin. So there's one of my Mordheim buildings I put it in there just to give it. So I'm really excited just to add this because my 4x4 Mordheim table, I have all different sections. So this is a cool one I can pop in and out. It gives you like an entrance way into the city. Changes it up where it could be an entrance into a courtyard, like, or a graveyard. So got some of my Mordheim guys and some of my Skaven, some of my Reiklander, Warband So this thing can be used for anything, any type of fantasy game, or Dungeons and Dragons, or Silver Bayonet. So really cool. Really happy how it came out. Simple. I could have done a lot of different things, but I just kind of wanted to get it done. So met the project in the middle. Really cool. Got my Hero Quest Barbarian there. So just I like these 2x2 sections because you can just come up with ideas and just build them, and just keep adding and stuff. So it's my Skaven leader. There's my Reiklander war leader. Interesting character for my campaign. And there's the entranceway, which I will fill with resin at a later date. Give it a little pool. So hope you guys enjoyed this little quick build. It was a lot of fun. More to come. I got some really cool ideas come in the future to add. So just stay tuned, like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of this B-roll footage. Everybody take care and happy gaming.